Greetings everybody, welcome to day 12 of Young Adult April 2019, and today we're going to be looking at the 5th installment of the Harry Potter film series, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So for this, I'm going to be looking at the plot, differences from the book, and then the production. So, here we go. During another summer with his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon, Harry Potter is expelled from Hogwarts after using magic to save himself and Dudley Dursley from Dementors. Harry is whisked off by a group of wizards including Mad-Eye Moody, Remus Lupin, and several new faces including Nymphadora Tonks and Kingsley Shacklebolt to number 12 Grimmauld Place, the home of his godfather Sirius Black. The building also serves as the headquarters of the Order of the Phoenix, a secret organization founded by Albus Dumbledore which informs Harry that the Ministry of Magic is refusing to believe Lord Voldemort's return. Of course. At the Order's headquarters, Sirius mentions that Voldemort is after a special object he did not have during his previous attack. Harry's expulsion is reversed at a hearing of the Ministry of Magic, and he returns to Hogwarts for his 5th year, where Minister of Magic Cornelius Fudge has appointed a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Dolores Umbridge. Woohoo! Umbridge immediately clashes with Harry and punishes him for his lies about Voldemort, but forcing him to write a message with a magic quill, scarring his hand. Ugh. Despite the concern of his best friends Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, Harry refuses to report Umbridge's punishment to Dumbledore, who has mysteriously been ignoring Harry since the summer. I wonder why. As Umbridge's control over the school increases, Harry, Hermione, and Ron form a secret group to train students in defensive spells, calling themselves Dumbledore's Army. Umbridge tasks the Slytherin students with exposing the group, form the Inquisitorial Squad. Meanwhile, Harry and Cho Chang develop romantic feelings for each other. Yeah, too bad that's not gonna last. Harry has a vision involving an attack upon Arthur Weasley, from the point of view of Arthur's attacker. Concerned that Voldemort will exploit his connection to Harry, Dumbledore instructs Severus Snape to give Harry occlumency lessons to defend his mind from Voldemort's influence. These end after Harry discovers through Snape's memories why Snape hated Harry's father James, who often ridiculed him. The connection causes Harry to further isolate himself from his friends. Meanwhile, Sirius's estranged Death Eater cousin Bellatrix Lestrange escapes from Azkaban along with 9 other Death Eaters. Well, that's not good. At Hogwarts, Umbridge and her Inquisitorial Squad expose Dumbledore's army by forcing Cho to drink Veritas serum. Oh, crap. Dumbledore escapes as Fudge orders his arrest. Umbridge becomes the new headmistress. Shouldn't that title go to McGonagall, not Umbridge? Because, things are placed there, but yeah, that title should have gone to friggin' McGonagall! But whatever! Harry's refusal to forgive Cho causes their relationship to fall apart. Of course it does. After seeing another vision where Sirius is tortured by Voldemort, Harry, Ron, and Hermione rush to Umbridge's fireplace to alert the Order via the Floo network, but are caught by her. Uh-oh. When Umbridge threatens to use the Cruciatus Curse on Harry, Hermione tricks her into entering the Forbidden Forest in search of Dumbledore's secret weapon. Hermione and Harry lead Umbridge to the hiding place of Rubeus Hagrid's giant half-brother Grop, only to be confronted by centaurs, who kidnap Umbridge after she attacks and insults them. Well, serves you right. Harry, Hermione, Ron, Ginny Weasley, Luna Lovegood, and Neville Longbottom fly to the Ministry of Magic on Thestros in an attempt to save Sirius. The 6 enter the Department of Mysteries and uncover a bottled prophecy, the object Voldemort was after. However, they are ambushed by Death Eaters led by Lucius Malfoy and Bellatrix. Lucius reveals that Harry only saw a dream of Sirius being tortured, which served as a ruse to lure Harry into the Death Eaters' grasp. Uh-oh. Harry refuses to give Lucius the prophecy, causing a fight between Dumbledore's army and the Death Eaters. The Death Eaters capture everyone except Harry, threatening to kill them unless he surrenders the prophecy. As Harry obliges, the Order arrive and attack the Death Eaters. This causes Lucius to drop the prophecy, destroying it. Just as Sirius overpowers Lucius, he is killed by Bellatrix. No! Voldemort appears, but Dumbledore arrives through the Floo network moments before he can kill Harry. Yes! A duel between Voldemort and Dumbledore ensues, destroying much of the atrium while Bellatrix escapes. Unable to defeat Dumbledore, Voldemort possesses Harry to tempt Dumbledore into sacrificing him, but the love Harry feels for his friends and Sirius makes it impossible for Voldemort to remain in his body. Ministry officials arrive right before Voldemort disapparates. Fudge is forced to admit Voldemort's return and is forced out of his position as minister in disgrace. Well, serves you right for not believing Harry and Dumbledore in the first place! Umbridge is removed from Hogwarts, and Dumbledore returns as headmaster. Yay! Dumbledore explains that he distanced himself from Harry throughout the year, hoping it will lessen the risk of Voldemort using their connection. That's somewhat clever, I guess. Harry comes to learn with the prophecy, neither can live while the other survives. Oh, gee, that's so cryptic. No, not really. So anyway, now let's look at the differences from the book. At 766 pages in the British edition and 870 in the American edition, Order of the Phoenix is the longest book in the Harry Potter series. Screenwriter Michael Goldenberg described his task to cut down the novel as searching for, quote, the best equivalent way to tell the story. My job was to stay true to the spirit of the book rather than to the letter. Goldenberg said that Rowling told him, the producers, and Yates that, quote, she just wanted to see a great movie and gave them permission to take whatever liberties they felt they needed to take to translate the book into a movie she would love. Cutting down the book to meet the time frame of the film, Goldenberg explained, became, quote, clearer when he figured out that the organizing principle of the screenplay was to narrate Harry's emotional journey. He and Yates, quote, looked for every opportunity to get everything they could in there, and where they couldn't, to sort of pay homage to it, to have it somewhere in the background, or to feel like it could be taking place off screen. One cut Goldenberg had to make, which he, quote, hated to do, was the absence of Quidditch, the wizarding sport. Quote, the truth is that any movie made of this book, whoever made it, that included the Quidditch subplot, would have been a lesser film, he said. In the book, Ron grows as a character by trying out for the Quidditch team. Quote, Ron facing challenges and coming into his own in the same way that Harry is. We tried to get that into the film in other ways, as much as possible. So, you feel like, if not the details of that story, at least the spirit of it is present in the film. The change disappointed actor Rupert Grint, who had been, quote, quite looking forward to the Quidditch stuff. Yeah, but I think we'll get a little bit of that in the next movie. In a significant scene from the book, Harry sees a memory of his own father humiliating Snape in their school days, and Snape insulting his mother after she stood up for him. In the film, it is abbreviated to a, quote, idea, in Goldenberg's words. Quote, it's an iconic moment when you realize your parents are normal, flawed human beings. Things get trimmed out, and I kept the meat of that in there. And that was really what gave me the coming-of-age story. Young Lily Potter did not appear at all. Their promotional screenshots showed unknown actor Susie Shinner in the role. The scene at St. Mungo's, the hospital where Harry and friends run into classmate Neville Longbottom and learned his parents were tortured into insanity by Bellatrix Lestrange, was cut because it required the construction of a new set. The main purpose of the action of the scene was relocated to the Room of Requirement after one of Dumbledore's army's lessons. Also, the speed of the film's climax. Several events in the Ministry leading up to Harry's battle with Voldemort were removed, including the Brain Room? Ugh. Mrs. Weasley's encounter with the Boggart at Grimmauld Place, Ron, Hermione, and Malfoy becoming prefects, the appearance of Mundungus Fletcher, and Firenze teaching divination followed suit. Yeah, that's not good, I guess. The character of Creature the House Elf, who was included in the script only at Rowling's request, has a larger part in the book than the film. In the novel, he is seen saving some of the Black family's artifacts which the Order of the Phoenix throw away, one of which is a locket which becomes extremely important in the 7th book. Quote, it was kind of tricky to raise that in our story, because it's for so much later, Yates said. Quote, we figured we can possibly introduce it later, and that's the approach we took. Whilst Creature remained, all scenes involving Dobby were cut, and his important actions given to other characters. Rita Skeeter, the journalist played by Miranda Richardson in Goblet of Fire, was also removed. In the book, Hermione blackmails her into writing an article that supports Harry and the rest of the Wizarding World, as the rest of the Wizarding World denies his claims. Richardson noted that, quote, "It's never going to be the book on film, exactly. They'll take certain aspects from the book and make it something that they hope is going to be commercial and that people want to see." I don't know, I agree with that, to be honest, but whatever. Anywho, now on to production, beginning with development. British television director David Yates was chosen to direct the film after Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire director Mike Newell, as well as Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Guillermo del Toro, Matthew Vaughn, and Amira Nair turned down offers. Yates believed he was approached because the studio saw him fit to handle a, quote, edgy and emotional film with a, quote, political backstory, which some of his previous television projects, including State of Play, Sex Traffic, and The Girl in the Cafe, demonstrated. Producer David Heyman supported Yates' comments about the film's political theme, saying that, quote, "Order of the Phoenix is a political film, not with a capital P, but is about teen rebellion and the abuse of power. David has made films in the UK about politics without being heavy-handed." On the film's political and social aspects, Emma Watson stated that, quote, "Somehow it talks about life after July 7th, the way people behave when they're scared, the way truth is often denied, and all things our society has to face. Facing the fact that the authority is corrupted means having a nonconformist approach to reality and power." Steve Kloves, the screenwriter of the first 4 Potter films, had other commitments. Michael Goldenberg, who was considered to pen the first film in the series, filled in and wrote the script. Rehearsals for Order of the Phoenix began on January 27, 2006. Filming began on February 7, 2006, and finished at the start of December 2006. Filming was put on a 2-month hiatus in May 2006, so Radcliffe could sit his AS levels and Watson could sit her GCSE exams. The film's budget was reportedly between 75 and 100 million pounds, roughly the equivalent of 150 to 200 million American dollars. The largest budget of the other films in the series has been the $75 million it cost to make Goblet of Fire. Yeesh. Mark Day was the film editor. Somir Izadak, sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, was the cinematographer, and Jeannie Tamime was the costume designer. Choreographer Paul Harris, who had previously worked with David Yates several times, created a physical language for wand combat to choreograph the wand fighting scenes. Nice. Now on to casting. Casting began as early as May 2005, when Radcliffe announced he would reprise his role of Harry. Across the media frenzy that took place during Lisa Goblet of Fire, most of the main returning actors announced their return to the series, including Grint, Watson, Lewis, Wright, Leung, and Fiennes. The announcements of the casting of the rest of the new characters to the series spanned across 2006. Ivana Lynch won the role of Luna Lovegood over 15,000 other girls who attended the open casting call, waiting in a line of hopefuls that stretched a mile long. Saoirse Ronan was considered for the role. Interesting. Persistent rumors linked Elizabeth Hurley to the role of Bellatrix Lestrange, while the Warner Brothers asserted there was, quote, no truth whatsoever to reports that she had been cast. As early as August 2005, rumors began linking Helen McCrory to the role. On February 2, 2006, it was announced that McCrory had indeed been cast as Bellatrix. However, in April 2006, she was revealed that she was 3 months pregnant and withdrew from the film because she would not have been able to perform the intense battle sequences in the Ministry of Magic in September and October 2006. The announcement that Bonham Carter had been recast for the role was made on May 25, 2006. McCrory was subsequently cast as Narcissa Malfoy from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince onwards. Interesting. The inclusion or cutting of some characters sparked speculation from fans as to the importance of the characters in the final book of the series, which was released just 10 days after the film. In April 2006, representatives of Jim McManus said that he would be playing Aberforth Dumbledore, Albus' brother and the barman of the Hog's Head, who was sharing his friends found Dumbledore's army. A week later, WB announced that the role was, quote, very minor, allaying some of the speculation to the significance of the role, which, before the final book, was not even a speaking part. MTV reported in October 2006 that Dobby the house elf, who appeared in the second film, Chamber of Secrets, and in the fifth book, will be cut, opening up, quote, plot questions as to how the role of the elf will be filled. MTV also reported about a month before the release of the final book that Creature, the Black family's house elf, was cut from the film in one draft of the script. However, after rallying pride of the filmmakers to include him, saying, quote, you know, I wouldn't cut him if I were you. Or you can, but if you get to make a seventh film, he'll be tied in knots. He was added back into the script. Other minor roles were cut with subsequent drafts of the script. At the U.S. premiere of Goblet of Fire, series producer David Heyman said that former Hogwarts professor Gilderoy Lockhart, played by Kenneth Branagh in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, was in the first draft of the script for Phoenix. However, neither Branagh nor the character of Lockhart appears in the final version. Tiana Benjamin was scheduled to return for the film in the role of Angelina Johnson, the captain of the Gryffindor Quidditch team, but she had to withdraw due to a commitment playing Chelsea Fox in EastEnders. The character, as well as the entire Quidditch subplot, was ultimately cut from the film. However, she did, record sound clips for the Order of the Phoenix video game. Nice! The family of footballer Theo Walcott made a cameo appearance in the film. They were signed on by director David Yates, who was a partner of Yvonne Walcott, Theo's aunt. Theo himself was due to appear alongside his family, though his commitments to Arsenal Football Club forced him to pull out. Aww. Anywho, now on to set design. Stuart Craig returned as set designer, having designed the first 4 film sets. There were a number of notable new sets in this film. The Atrium in the Ministry of Magic is over 200 feet in length, making it the largest and most expensive set built for the Potter film series to date. Craig's design was inspired by early London Underground stations, where he said architects, quote, tried to imitate classical architecture, but they used ceramic tile, as well as a Burger King on Tottenham Court Road in London, where, quote, there's a fantastic Victorian facade that just embodies the age. Okay, then. The set of number 12 Grimmauld Place contains the Black family tapestry spread across 3 walls. When the producers told Rowling they wanted to visualize the details of each name and birth year, she faxed them a complete copy of the entire tree. Nice! The set of the Hall of Prophecies was entirely digitally built. During a fight scene which occurs there, prophecies crash to the ground and break. Had it been an actual physical set, the reset time would have been weeks. And hey, you know what they say, time is money. The set used for Igor Kakrov's trial scene in Goblet of Fire was doubled in size for Harry's trial in this film, while still protecting its symmetry. New Professor Dolores Umbridge, though she teaches in a classroom that has appeared in films 2 through 4, inhabits an office vastly different from those of her predecessors. The set was redressed with, quote, fluffy pink filigree, and a number of places upon which moving kittens were animated in post-production. A 24-hour photo shoot was held to photograph and film the kittens for use on these plates. The quill which Umbridge gives Harry to write lines is designed by the set designers. Now, on to filming. The other producers explored options to film outside the UK. Leavesden Film Studios in Watford was again the location on which many of the interior scenes, including the Great Hall, Privet Drive, and number 12 Grimmauld Place, were shot. Locations in England included the River Thames, where the flight of the Order of the Phoenix to number 12 Grimmauld Place, and the flight of Dumbledore's army to the Ministry of Magic. This sequence also includes such landmarks as the London Eye, Canary Wharf, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and HMS Belfast. Nice! Filming at Platform 9 3/4 took place at King's Cross Station, as it has in the past. A telephone booth near Scotland Yard was used as Harry and Arthur Weasley entered the Ministry, while the crew closed the Westminster Tube Station on October 22, 2006, to allow for filming of Arthur Weasley accompanying Harry to his trial at the Ministry of Magic. Other scenes were filmed in and around Oxford, especially at nearby Blenheim Palace in Woodstock. In Glenfinnan, the Hogwarts Express crosses a viaduct, as it has in the past films. Aerial scenes were shot in Glen Coe and Cloud Cake Gully and Glen Ediv, which, at the time of filming, was one of the few places in Scotland without snow, making it ideal for a backdrop. Good. Director David Yates stated in an interview that he originally shot a 3-hour film of Order of the Phoenix. However, some material had to be cut out in the final edit, as the movie was 45 minutes too long. Therefore, several locations which were used for various scenes do not appear in the final film. In Virginia Water, scenes were shot where Professor McGonagall recovers from stunning spells. And Burden Beaches was used for filming the scene where Hagrid introduces his 5th-year Care Magical Creatures class to Thestrals. Harry skips stones in front of the Glenfinnan Monument in Glenfinnan in another cut scene. Now, on to the visual effects. The film required over 1,400 visual effects shots, and the London-based company Double Negative created more than 950 of them. Ooh. Working for 6 months on pre-visualization started in September 2005. Double Negative was largely responsible for the sequences in the Room of Requirement, the Forbidden Forest, the Hall of Prophecies, and the Death Chamber. A new character in the film, Grop, Hagrid's giant half-brother, came to life by new technology called soul capturing, developed by Image Metrics. Instead of building the character from scratch, the movements and facial expressions of actor Tony Maudsley were used to model Grop's actions. Interesting. Now finally, on to the music and soundtrack. Nicholas Huber was the composer for the soundtrack of the film, following John Williams, who scored the first 3 films, and Patrick Doyle, who did the 4th. At the new score, Huber incorporated variations on Hedwig's theme, the series theme originally written by Williams for the first film and heard in all subsequent ones. In March and April 2007, Huber and the London Chamber Orchestra recorded nearly 2 hours of music at Abbey Road Studios in London. The score, like the film and book, is darker than previous installments in the series. To emphasize this, the 2 new main themes reflect the sinister new character Dolores Umbridge and Lord Voldemort's invasion of Harry's mind. A Japanese taiko drum was used for a deeper sound in the percussion. Interesting. The soundtrack was released by Warner Brothers Records on July 10, 2007, eve of the film's release. For his work on the film, Huber was nominated a World Soundtrack Discovery Award. Nice. The trailer prominently features the cues Divine Crusade by X-Ray Dog and DNA Reactor by Pfeiffer Bros Music. The film also features the song Boys Will Be Boys by The Ordinary Boys, which played during a scene in the Gryffindor Common Room at 31 minutes 35 seconds. Interesting. So overall, this is a quite interesting installment in the Harry Potter film series, and it's not bad if I do say so myself. So overall, I give Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix 5 wands out of 5. I'll tune in tomorrow as we take a look at Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So, until then, bye everybody.